Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where in the last episode just got our steel smelting up and running and things are going well. We are not quite at the threshold yet for when it starts to request it in over here, but we'll be there soon. In today's episode we will start to play with train loading and unloading of fluids. While we spend an episode talking about that, is that loading a fluid and unloading a fluids is a bit of a weird size, as the balancing of the fluid tanks, the pipes, the throughput and such is quite different than anything else we have played with before. So if you think that's a cool idea, do remember to like the video, and if you're new to the channel, do remember to subscribe as well. So we want to pull our liquid or crude oil from the cell, maybe somewhere over here, and then transport it to, for example, up here for oil processing. So let's just place down our little grid for a future area with oil production, and let's go and set up some fluid stations. So as I quickly teased, fluid unloading and loading is a funny size, as it's kind of hard to balance. But I think I have a somewhat decent solution that will not work for every base, but it will work for the base we are building here, which is a train base, because we have some kind of limit on it already. So let's say we want our fluid to go in right here. That means we'll have a fluid train and we'll have some fluid wagons. Now we need to fill this evenly to make sure that when the train comes in, it can quickly get filled by oil, and not have to worry about oil be missing or is missing in the tanks, because that would be the worst scenario we can get to. So the way I want to do it is that if we get some tanks in, let's see, for example, here and here, might move it a bit in the future. Let's do something like this. We can do the same over here. Let's see. Maybe we want these together in the middle, shouldn't do much of a difference. Then we'll have pumps taking them out from these. Just get ourselves a little spot in between, and then hook these up. I'll just have to shift it around a bit to get it to work. So this is how we're going to do it. We'll hook up a second one over here, having the fluid going that way. Because what we need to really think about is that this comes in with 25k storage. We want to be sure we can always fill it into tanks, and we want to only request in more fluids when there's a need for it and there's actually room in these storage tanks. So the solution I've come up with is something like this, and hopefully it works. Do it here and there, just a small pipe in between. So this is what will control our train. So this will pretty much be what manages the inputs. That's certainly the correct way. Do these as well. Saying that if these are full, because these will be filled, all of them, before these, then you'll request items from the network. For that, we'll need to have a train stop that has some circuitry on it. Let's just hook those up as we've done before. Arithmetic combinator and a decider combinator. Couldn't figure get it somewhere else, but let's get some green wire. Saying you go from here and in to there, from there to there. And you'll set train retrain limit L. You'll take inputs. In this case, it will be oil. If oil in these are equal to 100k, then this will be open for trains. Because that means as soon as the first one starts to unload, we'll not request new trains until we have completely filled it up again, to make sure a 2-train buffer isn't being in an issue. Then I'll put 1 as an L. Let's see, right there. Then the L will go over here. As we did before, we'll take then the input, each input, and multiply it by 2. And output L. We don't need to use L over here, but it just makes it easier to watch how things are flowing. Setting our train limit to either 0 or to 2, depending on what we need. Let's just hook up our fluid tanks. There we are. When they are completely full, we'll have 100k. To show you that this works, if we then make this to, if it's less than 100k, this should be open. Oh, we need the power, of course, first. Let's see, how do we power this in a good way? We want power here and there. There and... could in theory do it back here instead, in case we need the power put to go out further. We then need to get power for these. And we need to get these connected up somewhere. Something like that. So as you can see, this has a train limit of 2 now. If this was set correct to equal, they'll put it to 0, and then no trains will get requested in here. But as soon as these 4 are completely full, we'll get 2 trains requested, since that is normally what our limit is, or 1 if we don't have any, or 0. So I think this is how we're gonna manage the throughput. Just having the oil flow into these and get it distributed out into the storage tanks. We could in theory connect these up as well, though since they're connected up here, it shouldn't be needed. And I'd rather just leave it as this, with not too much flowing in between. So hopefully this will work. Do comment what you think about this setup, but I think it's gonna be fine. Let's take a bit of coal from you, just to back up this train, as we don't want it in the station at the moment. We'll just go back here and wait. And now we need to hook up all the oil. Luckily, that is quite easy to do, and that should mean that everything should just work as soon as we have the throughput we need. Let's get all of you up this way. Let's see, here, here, here. Something like that. Connecting up all of the oil in some kind of way. We can have a pipe going down this way. Let's go up here, there. Here, and you can just jump from down here, as you are quite far away. Connect you up, connect you in, and then get all of this back to our storage area over here. Because of this, I don't really mind how these are getting filled, as it doesn't matter in terms of throughput. As we know, these will be full when you get it in. We might be able to get more in, but that shouldn't be an issue. I'm debating if this one connected up here in the middle will be an issue, but I don't think it will. Might be though. I kinda want to shift it up 1. What if we take this part and just shift it to here? Instead, to get all of them disconnected. Will you still be able to get all the fluid in? Let's see when you dock at the station. Let's see, you are called Soul and Jeff. Please go to that one. Station isn't full. Let's just change you to less. That's fine. Let's go to equal again and unmenu that one. As you can see here, now we still have the two in. We have the two in over here. We have them disconnected to make sure we don't have things going. And I think this is the setup we'll use. Because then we can control the output at least. Up here, of course, we will still just connect these up, as it doesn't matter on this side, as these won't request in until all 4 is completely full. So let's try and use this setup. I think it'll be fine, and I'm looking forward to see it in action, if it actually does what I think it will. Let's back you up again, and let's try it out. So let's hook up the oil and let's see if we can get things flowing. There. I'll just willy-nilly put down these power poles, as oil has no symmetry, even though it annoys me very much that it doesn't. That is the case. And let's hook you up here. There we are. So now we have oil flowing. As you can see over here. Oh, let's connect up correctly. We just moved it a bit. As you can see, now things are flowing in. It's gonna fill these two first, probably, since that gets the oil first, and that's stronger than this one. But then it's gonna start to flow down these and fill up these afterwards. And since you want it completely full, it doesn't matter which order to fill in, which is very, very important. Otherwise, this would be a huge, huge issue. But we have trains solving this issue for us. So now we'll let this fill up. And while it's doing that, let's go and hook up a place where this can go in. Or unload even. So up here, I'll just park. I'll get our robots to clear out the trees. Please and thank you. We'll also get some landfill to get this done. So let's just put landfill on the hotbar. Say, please fill this one in. That is a bit annoying. Because we do actually need that area. And as soon as that is filled in, we can get the rest of the trains in. So what I want to take is pretty much just the same setup as here. And hopefully this will work. Place it down right here. Get the rest of this flown in just a second. You'll be called oil unloading with a little icon. Oil unloading. Good. This one will get delivered in just a second by the robots. Yeah, they come with the items we need. And then we just have to flip all the pumps so they go out instead of in. And then do a bit of circuitry here, saying you can only request when these are equal to 0 instead. So until all the oil is completely gone from these, you are not allowed to get any more in, because then we have to buffer in these down here, buffering 100k. So that is what I want to try and do. So hopefully that will work as intended. Might have to handcraft a few of you. There we are. So you'll be when all is equal to 0. Hence your oil can say, when you say is anything is equal to 0, then you'll open. Because we don't know if it's oil, we just need to see if it's empty. I think that is the best thing. We'll just test it out in a second if it actually works. But firstly, we need to get the power hooked up. You can hook up. Let's see, what if you hook up right here? That means now it should be open now, but it's not. So we have to fix that. Anything equals 0 does nothing. So how do we change this input? Is actually what I want to know. Can you say if oil is equal to 0? Aha, yes. If oil is equal to 0, which is because there's nothing here, there's no oil, then you'll enable. That means now we can request in 2 trains. Unloading oil, filling up these buffer chests and filling up these, or buffer fluid tanks. Getting in 50k per train. On my calculations, this should make sure we have no issues with the trains jamming up and being stuck, not able to unload. So that is what we're going to test in just a second, down at the other unloading station. Oh, this is always the cool part of setting up something new, is will it actually work when we activate it? So if you look down here now, these are starting to fill up. That means that these are almost full down here. Things are slowly but surely flowing down the line. As you can see now, we have some issues getting it down here, so we could in theory have done some things, but it will work in a little bit. So while I wait for that, let's just get you set up. We'll go to the depot to get the fuel in activity. Then you'll go to, just a second, you rename you. No, you'll be oil loading. You will go to oil loading. Wait until you are full. Then we'll go to the depot. Then we'll go to oil unloading until you are empty. See, empty. And an activity. We might have forgotten that in one of these. Might actually not. We'll see if that is the case. Could actually be needed to. We don't actually need them both, but we'll have it. It should be fine in terms of throughput. But do comment what you think about us dropping one of these inactivities, as we probably don't need in both places. But let's send you to the depot for now, because now this should be open. It's not open yet. You're not at 100. Oh, these are not connected up. Just give me a second. Thought we did that. That should open this train station. That is good. You've connected up here as well. We did, so that is also very important that we do. So let's do this. I'll send it to the depot first to make sure it actually works. Then I'll go up to my unloading station. Hook up the wire that is missing, because without that, we'll be in serious issues with our base. Thank God we noticed that. There we are. So you're connected up, all 4 of you. You'll count the inputs, saying do we have enough or don't we? Let's follow our little oil depot station. It's right here. Getting filled up with coal and then soon be able to leave. Might actually want to drive with it just to see it in action, and maybe setting up a second oil train. But we'll see. Ooh, did not mean to hit that. Yeah. So oil train. There we are. It's done filling. Let's watch it go. You can do this if you didn't know. Open map location. It's like you're in the train, but you're not there. Now this is going. It is going towards the oil. It's down here to the south. Going up. Going over. And going in. That will load. That means this will close right away. That's closed now because it doesn't have these filled. But look how fast it got filled again. That means it's going to open for 2 trains yet again in just a second. Just need the rest of you filled. And the train is now going towards the unloading station in just a second. Let's see here. That is working as intended. It should be open again now. Yes. Perfect, it's open. It means we should be able to go up to our unloading. And the train will be here in just a second with our delicious goods. And then we'll copy it and make a second one. So we actually have always 100k oil buffered in our depots. So look, there it goes. Ooh, the oil train. Perfect. This should empty these out extremely quickly into these. Copied it. Look at that. Already ready again to get more. And these will just work. Let's just hook up a second train. Let's do it somewhere else where it's not actually an issue. There we are. Paste you in. And send you on your merry way to the depot. Couldn't fear do, yeah, just that one. So now we have double oil trains going. This is pretty much our fluid blueprint. I will just copy that for now. So that'll be liquid unloading. You will go into our blueprint book right there. Then we'll have liquid loading down here. Of course, with the power pole, so we actually know it fits. There we are. Liquid loading. Perfect. And you go into a blueprint book as well. So now we have liquid loading and unloading. We have normal or loading and unloading. So probably rename that. And then we're actually looking quite good. This is an old blueprint that we don't need anymore. So let's get rid of you. And yeah, this is pretty much where I want to end this episode. Because now we have this working. Let's see, there goes the train. That should be that this is still open. Because this is gonna empty directly in here. So it has room for one more train to go in here. And then we'll start to use this as the buffer. And actually 2 trains can go in. But that's exactly how much we can fill in. So that's perfect. No issues whatsoever. So do comment what you think about this design. I think it's going to work out very well. You can already see these are going, collecting. Oh, okay. God, let's remember to do fluid trains. Jesus Christ, that was stupid. Just give me a second while I fix that. Wow, that's embarrassing. There you go. Now you should be able to actually do what you need to do so you can go back to the depot again. Wow. You guys were probably face palming just a small amount. Look, now we're running into the issues that I didn't want to have happen. Are you still closed? Should be closed now. With no trains going to it. Perfect. Ooh, almost made a massive mistake there. That's fine. So I'll end the episode here. Do comment what do you think about this setup. If you think that the way I'm doing this loading is good or bad. This, even though it loads from the top, is fine, since the throughput is so slow or low from these. And it won't become an issue ever. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll leave a like on the video if you think I deserve it. And of course, remember to subscribe as well. Even though most of you actually are at this point, which is very, very cool. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Dgray, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.